Welcome to Inside Ripple, the show where I try to invite guests from various fields and industries to talk to them about their experience, but most importantly, have an insightful conversation. Today, our guest is my good friend Azizkhon Ganiev. How are you doing, brother?
Hello, brother. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Thank
Walaikum
you
salam.
so much for inviting me for this wonderful podcast. I'm really happy for you that you started this project, and I'm ready to give all the insights about me and my life to all your audience, brother.
That's amazing. So, first off, I'd like you to introduce yourself, what you've been doing, where you studied, where you lived, where you're currently working, and some of the projects you might be working on.
Sure. My name is Aziz Ganiev. I'm 25 years old. Currently, I live in Los Angeles, California. Uh, I work in compliance full time for AHF in healthcare. And at the same time, I'm developing my own business, trying to be on the moves.
And what is that business about?
My business is selling accessories for men. We work in fashion. Right now, I'm producing unique bow ties, pocket handkerchiefs, and boutonnieres, which are made out of 100% recycled materials. You can see the product right here. Here it is. Here's
We'll
our
get
wooden box.
we'll get to the juicy stuff in a bit, but
Okay.
I
Sorry,
guess
sorry, chef.
although I know you personally for a long time, but for the listeners, they might not know you. So you studied in Belgium, and what did you study, if you could elaborate?
Sure. I studied in Belgium at KU Leuven. I did my bachelor's in business administration and my master's in strategy, innovation, and entrepreneurship. I lived there for 5 years in Brussels City. It was a wonderful experience. I met a lot of beautiful people, including you, brother, and I'm thankful.
Awesome. So you've left Belgium. How long has it been?
It's been 6 months since left Belgium, actually.
How have you been adjusting to the lifestyle when you compare it to US and Belgium? How have you been
US
adjusting?
is US is completely different. I mean, different. It's like a different world, I would say, compared to Europe, compared to Uzbekistan, where I am from. And but the adaptation was quite easy. After Europe, there was not so much things that surprised me. Of course, people are different. The environment is different. The weather is different, which is a big factor. But yeah, overall, so far so good, I would say.
So the biggest changes you've seen from Brussels to LA would definitely be, I'd say, weather-wise and the infrastructure.
Yeah. Everything is spaced out. Like compared to Brussels. In Brussels, everything is kind of, you know, concentrated in one place. You can easily reach different sides of the city in an hour, like max, I would say. But here in Los Angeles, everything is spaced out. The first thing I noticed when I came, there are no pedestrians on the road. Everybody is driving car. Public transportation, which I used, it's extremely bad, especially after Brussels. I was actually bragging about STIB not doing a good job, but now I can truly apologize for my words. They're amazing in comparison with what we have here in LA.
And by this, I'm guessing that you did buy your car since everything is spaced out and you need to move around with a car, I guess. So how did that go?
Yes, sir. I bought my first car after 3 or 4 weeks upon my arrival. Because at first I tried to use public transport. I gave it a chance. I gave a shot, but as I said, it was impossible. It's really bad. I would not suggest anyone to use public transport in Los Angeles. Sometimes I think that they shot a movie, The Walking Dead, right there. You don't need anything. You just go down, and everything is ready for like decorations. actors. You don't need nothing, you know. You can start shooting. So I wouldn't suggest anybody to use it. And I got a car. My first car was Toyota Camry, 1999. Bro, you saw the picture, my beautiful
Hmm.
baby. And just recently, like 4 days ago, I sold it because I got another car. I got Toyota Corolla, a little bit newer. And yeah, that's how it's going right now.
It's mandatory to have a car, I'm guessing, because without a car you can't really go anywhere, and public transport is so bad it doesn't connect any places together. So yeah, it's understandable.
Yes,
uh,
sir.
One of the main reasons I invited you on the show, not only because you're my brother and I have to have you on the show, but it's also because knowing you for so long, one of the biggest things that stood out is definitely your sense of fashion and how much effort you put into staying fashionable and stylish. So I'd like to talk a bit about that before we move on to your business, because I think your sense of your business branches out from your sense of fashion. So, how
Thank you.
how do you actually stay so stylish? If I if I put it this way.
Brother, I was born like that, you know. No, actually, I started I started to get into fashion and stuff when I was 17 years old. And I was just, like watching different shows and following some artists, which inspired me. And I would say it doesn't take me a long time to choose my outfit for the day. I wake up and the first thing I do, of course, I drink a lot of water, and I'm thinking what am I going to wear today? It takes me around 3 minutes to decide, and then it's all ready for the day. Let's say.
Where would you say your fashion sense comes from? Is it your parents or your siblings or who?
Ah, it's hard question. I would say probably my parents, but they weren't they are not that fashionable. They're more conservative, but I would say they always stood out, like even in between their friends and stuff. I remember when I was a kid, my even my dad, he would receive compliments from his coworkers. He was like, yo, you look sharp today, and my mom was the one taking care of that, so probably it comes from my mom.
Definitely. Well, also I've known that when you used to be in Belgium, you shopped a lot from Zalando.
Yes, sir.
How it was your experience from Zalando with Zalando, and do you actually miss Zalando now that you're living in US?
Brother, thank you so much for giving me this question because I really miss Zalanda in the United States of America. Zalanda is top of what humanity has achieved in the past 5,000 years. Here in the US, we have Amazon, which I also think is fascinating how it works. But in Europe, Zalando, undoubtedly the number one because they had the best prices, they had the biggest variety of choice,
Best
and they had
collection.
exactly best collections, best prices, very good delivery and returns. For instance, I would order tons of stuff, and there was stuff that I don't like and I wouldn't wear, and I could have returned it like easily. It was easy just like that, because Zalanda, they take care about their customers. They include the return label right inside the package. So I didn't have to do anything. I just take the same box, put the stuff inside, stick the return label, and give it to B Post. And here in the United States, we don't have like something like that. You have Nordstorm, which is very popular, but I like when I used this application when I ordered stuff from there, I realized that they're not staying even close to Zalando. So people in Europe should be thankful for
Definitely.
Zalando. Yeah.
For your shopping needs, fashion wise, where do you shop from then in the US?
Currently, it's been a while. I haven't been really shopping, I would say, I even miss this sometimes. But yeah, I have to admit now I'm kind of focused on making my own stuff. I'm trying to produce my own clothes. I already made a couple of concepts, and I'm working with artists and professionals from Uzbekistan to mass produce this stuff. And I would say now I'm focused on that. So it's been a while I haven't been shopping because my experience was disappointing here in US.
Awesome stuff. And if you were to describe your fashion style, because of course there's street style, casual, classic, what would you describe your fashion style? Although I've seen you in all of them, but which one
Yes, sir.
describes you the most?
Um, I would say classy style is my favorite.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, now we move on to the more interesting stuff about your bow tie business. So, when did you start your bow tie business? And well, am I mistaking it by calling it a bow tie business because you said it's men's apparel? So, what is the industry you're actually?
You can call it bow tie business. I would say it's accessories for man. So it's not just bow ties, it's ties, pocket handkerchiefs, boutonnieres and stuff. Um, and but you can call it bow tie business. Let's call it like that. It's easier.
All right. So, when did you come up with the idea of starting this business?
I came up with the idea back in 2017. Back in 2017, I thought like because I would wear the bow ties, occasionally, not every day, and I always received compliments like, "Oh, it's a nice bow tie." And that back then it was the bow tie that I designed and I ordered from one of the creators in Uzbekistan. He was a tailor, and I just ordered that special piece. And I would get those compliments from people. Oh, it's a nice bow tie and stuff. And I thought maybe I can make a living out of this. Maybe I can start my own business because I liked it, and it was kind of interesting the whole process, how it was produced. And I thought, why not?
Yeah, I guess, yeah, 6 years in the industry since you started in 2017. Um, what are some of the pros and cons of selling bow ties because it's such a specific and niche item? Have you seen that there are some pros or cons or any?
Yeah, of course, of course. I would say first of all, selling bow ties it's not easy because you don't have a lot of people out there wearing bow ties every day. So it's really hard to find your target audience, I would say. But at the same time, the competition is not that big because you have a lot of people out there selling bow ties. If you just type bow tie on Amazon, you have one millions of offers. But at the same time, if we're talking about people who really care of what they wear, let's say, or very selective, you're gonna understand that 95% of people offering bow ties on the market, they're not offering a good product. So I would say if you stand out, if you're making a quality product with unique design, if you're proposing a special value, then you're good.
And you mentioned target audience, target consumers. So who are your target consumers?
I don't have specific age group, but I would say most of the people buying my products are people in their 35, 40, 40s. Like, yeah, like youngsters, they're not really interested, I would say. But people who are a little bit older, who like, I would say professionals who dress up like in a smart casual style, they are interested in my products.
All right. So Let's dive deeper into how you actually design them, how you source the materials. So, when it comes to creating these bow ties, how do you actually go about sourcing the materials, or how's your creative process? Like, where do you start?
First of all, I would say, as I've mentioned earlier, my bow ties are made out of 100% recycled materials, meaning that we're not using any newly produced cloth for making the bow ties. So, what I do, I try to find suppliers in secondhand shops, and I make a request. So I ask them to give me the silk materials that they have in stock. After I get some samples, I make an agreement to buy in bulk. I get the materials in bulk. After that, the materials go through special cleaning procedures. And after the cleaning procedure, it goes straight to our small tailor shop where the designs are made and the bow ties are produced.
So, you make use of independent artisans, if I'm not mistaken. The people that actually make the bow tie, you have contracts with them, and they
Yes,
make
yes,
the bow ties. When
yes,
it
exactly.
comes to the design aspect, do you tell them, or do you give them full creative freedom?
Sometimes I give them creative freedom, but most of the time the designs are, you're not you're not inventing a bike. You cannot really go right and left with a bow tie or a tie. So I would say the main thing is choosing material itself and choosing the shape of the bow tie because we make pre-tied bow ties, and like most of our products are pre-tied because most of the people, they don't like dealing with the tying the bow tie and stuff like that, so they just want to clip it in and go out. And so I choose the materials, I choose the different kind of shapes for the bow tie, always trying to get some inspirations from the past, and after that they getting produced.
I ask you this because I've seen you also make some bow ties that are completely unique from the traditional style. And I would say these are more custom bow ties. So, do you actually make custom bow ties?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I do make custom bow ties. Sometimes, like 90% of my bow ties produced by my company AG, they're unique. Like we produce it only in one piece, So people buying the bow tie, they can be sure they're not going to see somebody else wearing the same thing. And I always like ideas. They come out of nowhere, like a thunderbolt out of the clear sky. I would say, it's never like I'm sitting in front of my computer and really thinking, oh, what should I do? Like, what kind of bow tie we should produce? No, it's just like I see something and I'm like, okay, maybe we should implement it. Maybe we should make a bow tie out of this. Maybe we should add that, and that's how it goes.
When you started this business, what were some of the things you had to take into considerations, or for people who want to start such a business, what are the things they need to take into consideration?
First and foremost, I would say find a good supplier that won't let you down. It's very important. And the main thing people should think about is logistics. If you're not producing locally, then it's quite difficult, dealing with logistics, especially during COVID, what was happening with logistics and stuff. Even now, like the business in general is down, the logistics business. And it's very hard to find the trustworthy people who can deliver on time. So I would say those are the main aspects: suppliers, logistics, and of course the quality of your product.
Since you mentioned COVID, how did you actually? How was your business impacted, and how did you actually adapt?
It was seriously impacted because I was mostly selling. Um, I was working with the stores. I was collaborating with the local stores in Brussels. And what happened during COVID? All the stores were locked. They were locked up. There were no tourists. There were literally no customers at the stores. So it was extremely difficult during COVID, to do business during COVID.
And yeah, do you mostly, because you just mentioned that you collaborated with businesses, do you prefer going B2B or B2C? Which one is your most preferred option of selling?
My preferred option is always B2B, at least right now. Up until now, it was like that because I didn't really have much time to invest into promoting my product, to work with the customers. We know how difficult it could be. And for me, it was much easier to make a product, to offer it to the stores, and cash out.
Yeah, I think that's the smartest option. However, in the beginning, I do remember because I had some involvement with your business in terms of photo shooting and helping with some minor stuff. Is that in the
Yes,
beginning
sir.
you really wanted to advertise to consumers, and that's why you made
Yeah.
a website? And when do you think
Yes.
you'd want to restart that again?
As soon as possible. Working with consumer is the best thing a business can do. Like, because when you work with a business, you should always, negotiate the price. Like it's a lot of time that's invested into negotiations, into talking, into showing, into sitting, discussing. While with the consumer, you have also like the difficulties working with the consumers, of course. But in general, you charge more, meaning you're getting more margin, you're getting more profit, and it's you're getting more satisfaction, I would say, because you're working with the consumer. You know what they want. You're getting feedback all the time, constantly. And for me, the ultimate goal is to be back on the market and work with the consumers directly.
For sure. And how do you actually market the product? I mean, right now, since you're doing B2B, you're not really marketing it for consumers, but when you were selling to consumers, how did you market the product?
I was marketing the product through Instagram and Facebook, so social media marketing mostly. And of course, if marketing is all about putting money into the business. Marketing is something like where you constantly put money to, and you shouldn't be expecting the profit right away. And that was my mistake because I thought, okay, I'm going to invest now, let's say like a little amount of money, and I was
Hmm.
expecting the outcome right away. And of course, I was wrong. Marketing is something you should always be aware of. You should work on every day because the market is changing, the trends are changing, the methods of promoting are changing, and the consumers are changing as well. Like now, it's way harder to sell than it was like, let's say, 5 years ago. We're not even talking about a decade. So for me, it was really difficult because at the beginning I invested my own money. I had business partners. We invested our money from our pockets together, and putting the money into the marketing was not an option. I knew that if I continue doing so, I'll face bankruptcy. So that's why I decided to work with the businesses.
Moving forward, since you've moved from the European market to the US market, moving forward, who are you targeting more? Is it the US market, or are you going to offer worldwide shipping?
No, of course, I'm gonna focus on US market right now. I reached out to a couple of businesses already. They are interested in the products, but the only issue is that currently I'm producing my bow ties. They're handcrafted back home in Uzbekistan, and I'm outsourcing because it's cheaper. I'm offering like jobs to our people, to our local people, which is also good, I think. But at the same time, logistics make the biggest difference right now. It's very expensive. It's far, and it takes time. So I have to start producing locally, unfortunately.
I guess it is good when it comes to the production side of it because it's extremely cheap for you to produce it. But even if it's cheap, you're helping out the economy in your own country. But I guess, yeah, when you're transporting them and bringing them from Uzbekistan to the US, I think it's much more harder than when you're transporting them from Uzbekistan to Europe, since it's the same continent.
Of course. And by the way, I'm paying better than 90% of governmental positions in Uzbekistan. So if you guys from Uzbekistan watching me, reach out.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So your business is extremely sustainable, you'd say, or not sustainable, but it's the materials are upcycled,
Yes, sir.
and that really does make a difference because, especially the fashion industry, is known to be an industry with a lot of waste and a lot of exploitation of labor. So the way you're doing business with your brand is that you're trying to reduce that exploitation by giving the locals more power and freedom to make the products, and I think that's something really that's really respectable.
Thank you, brother. Yes.
So when a consumer buys your product, what do they receive?
So here we come to the most interesting part. Uh, this was the initial um, concept of selling my products, but currently we're working on something a little bit different. You'll find out about it very soon. So how we are selling our products right now? It comes with a in a wooden box. Here you go. No plastic, nothing. We take care about the turtles. You know what I mean? And inside you have a set of three. Now we have two sets in one, but usually you get like one set. So it's bow tie itself. Here we go.
Wow,
You
that's
have,
such a nice design.
thank you, brother. You have pocket handkerchief, matching pocket handkerchief. It's already, ready to get used. Like basically, you put it inside your pocket. You don't have to fold it, nothing. Like 1 second, and you're sharp, ready to go. And you have also boutonniere, which you can, if you want to be in a Conor McGregor style or Don Carleone style, here you go. Put it right on your blazer, and you're ready to go. That's how it comes. It comes in a set of three, and it comes in a beautiful wooden box with engraved logo right on it.
I'll put a picture on top, but also, is there padding inside, like the box itself?
Is there what?
Is the box padded inside, or is just the wooden box and the items inside?
Yeah, it's just the wooden box and the items inside. Yes.
And I think this is a really different way of doing things because you're not just giving the bow tie, you're giving them an experience.
Yes,
The
sir.
box itself is definitely branded. It's not just a simple wooden box. I think the branding, the things you've done there, taking into account the turtles, is definitely something very good.
That's what we were thinking about because what people do, they receive a package and they just throw it away. But would you throw away something like that?
Never. That's
I,
definitely a something
I
to
wouldn't say
decorate.
so.
No.
Yeah, you can use it for anything. You can put your watch inside, you can put your jewelry inside. That's what we thought, so people can reuse it. It will not harm the environment and the turtles, as you mentioned.
So, how does the customer journey look like? Um, if they want to order right now, will they be able to via the website?
Unfortunately, no. We have beautiful website, but it's not active. Currently, I'm working on that. So hopefully, soon, in upcoming weeks, even I would say, it will be launched, and consumers will be able to order straight from the website.
Awesome. Well, I do look forward to that because I need to get myself an AG bow tie soon.
Thank
W-
you, sir.
From all of the design I've seen, I think one of my favorite, and I'll put up a picture if I have one, is definitely the bow tie, the black leather bow tie with clips attached to it.
Ah, yeah.
That was one of the
Yes, sir.
most creative designs I've seen, and that's why I was saying that if you make custom designs, because that design definitely seems custom. It's like someone from a rock and roll band told you, like, yeah, I want something super,
Yes, sir. Yeah,
but
that's what we thought of actually when we were making this bow tie. Yeah.
so what are the future plans for this brand? How do you want to develop it, and where do you want it to be, let's say, in the next 5 years?
Interesting question because recently I produced a couple of suits, So I wanted to get into suit business, not only accessories but also custom made suits. So in the future, I see the brand being a direct threat to such a big brands like Brioni, producing suits. So that's what I want. I want to produce not only suits but also shirts, and in the future maybe bags, leather items like portemonnaie. I forgot the name in English.
Wallets.
Wallets, yes, sir. Yeah, and at the same time, as I said, I'm also into street fashion, so I'm trying to get into that. I have a couple of good designs in my head, so I really have to sit and envision the future for AG.
When you compare yourself to other brands, where do you see the biggest differences of the way you want to do things?
The biggest difference, of course, the quality. Quality makes the difference, and you know the uniqueness of the product. You buying our products, you're not just buying a bow tie, but you're getting into exclusive club of people wearing unique stuff made out of recycled materials, highest quality, handmade. So that's the value we're proposing.
Hmm, do you think, I mean, I think there is a market for this product in Uzbekistan. So, have you ever thought about opening up a showroom where you sell these and also you make custom suits, tailored made suits? Have you ever thought of making a tailor showroom in Uzbekistan?
Yes, I did think about it, and but Uzbek market is quite saturated. You don't really you don't really have a lot of people who can afford it. I would say because in Uzbekistan you can buy pretty okay quality stuff and people are good with it. But it doesn't align with my vision. So I don't think in the nearest future I'm gonna do it.
You want your product to be categorized in the more luxury side of the industry rather than a typical knockoff brand.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
That's definitely, yeah, it's because, yeah, of course, if you appeal to the entire market, it's more, it's tougher to make a product that suits everybody. It's
yeah.
definitely, yeah. Have you ever thought about collaborating with other brands or places, for example? When you see, for example, when Off-White collaborates with football teams to curate their entire, uh,
Yeah.
dress. Have you ever thought about doing something like this with the brand?
Yes, the first time I thought about it was the Belgian national team, football team, you know?
That's very
Yeah,
ambitious. I like that.
exactly. Yeah, that was way too ambitious, I would say. Uh, and we even reached out to one of the owners of Standard de Liège, you know, this football club in Belgium. But eventually it didn't work out. And yeah, you know, I had to lump my ambition. But yes, for sure, I'm open for collabs. I think collaboration is very important for any brand right now. In in from all the perspective, you know, you're you're exposing your brand to a different audience by working with other creators. You're creating something new, something better, something bigger, and that's the future of fashion. You know, collaboration.
Definitely. And I
Yeah,
think more in more recent times we've been seeing much more of these, and I think people really love seeing these kind of collaborations.
yeah, exactly.
So right now, as you've said, you only do business with other businesses, B2B. So how do you go about finding these businesses? What's your method behind it? How do you approach them? What do you offer?
It's extremely simple. Most of the time, I see the stores selling accessories or selling suits, and I go directly there. Go there, I say, "Hello, can I meet with the manager?" And if I manage to meet a person, I talk to him right away. If not, I get a contact information. I reach out via email or phone call. You know, here in US, most of the people they text iMessage. It's very strange, but people prefer text messages, you know, to
Hmm.
emails and WhatsApp. I would say, like, because in Belgium, a lot of people they use WhatsApp, right, for
Yeah,
messaging and stuff. But here in US, iMessage is the thing because a lot of people here are using iPhones. So I reach out. I try to set up an appointment to meet up in person. If not, to set up a Zoom call or something, and then we discuss. So it's all about that, you know.
that's great. And I guess this question encompasses all the countries you've been, like in Belgium and US, selling these bow ties. Which was your biggest sale? Because I think this is interesting to know what's the biggest amount of bow ties a business has taken from you, or how many you were
Mm.
able to sell to a single business.
Oh, that's a good question. I would say the biggest sale was back in 2019 when I sold at once. At once, I sold 300 bow ties.
Wow,
Yeah, that's not that much, but for unique product, for something exclusive, I would say this was a lot. 300 at once. We agreed on a price that was good for both parties. I would say, yeah. Um,
I guess we didn't touch up on this. Yeah, the price. How much do you sell these bow ties usually?
Usually, I sell like when I'm selling to consumers, I sell the bow tie, the whole set for about $50. And when I started off, it was 35. But now, taking into account the inflation and stuff, we gotta raise the prices. But while working with the businesses, it's all very it varies, from business to business. The amount of product they buy at once, it's different. Some people I usually don't sell less than 50 pieces at once. So as I just mentioned, when you buy 300 and when you buy 50, you have different kind of deal, I would say.
So there is a bulk price to it, but for consumers looking to buy your product, they'll be looking at $50.
Yes.
And I do
Yes.
think it's quite reasonable because the fact that these are handmade, unique items, uh, given in a presented in a wooden box with custom engraving, I don't see the reason why it would be cheaper. And I think you've done all the calculations, and if you think this is a good price, well, yeah, it's. I would definitely say, for such item, should have a good price.
Yes, sir.
And I guess, do you run any sort of offers, even when you do B2B, or if you, in the future, when you're gonna sell to consumers, are you gonna run any offers such as buy one, get one? Or what do you feel about these kind of offers? Does it degrade the brand or?
mm, I feel like I'm not going to do any kind of offers, unfortunately, because I'm not mass producing stuff. Each piece is like my own piece of heart. Every time I sell it, I'm a little bit sore about it. I want to wear it myself. But yeah, so this kind of stuff is applicable for brands that are mass producing. And when you are producing something unique, you cannot make deals or discounts or offers, let's say.
As I said, it does diminish the brand, and depending on who you appeal to, it might look strange. So you've made a
Yeah.
lot of bow ties. Which are some of your favorite? I'll definitely put up the picture of the ones you're talking about if you can give them to me. But which one
Um,
was your favorite to make, to source the material?
Let me think about it.
And not just bow tie, I guess we can also talk about suits. Which one is
Oh, yeah.
one of
Bro,
your
you know my
favorite
favorite
suits?
suit, brother. You
I
know my
do know.
favorite suit. Yeah. Yeah, you gotta put up that picture. How
Yes.
how did you call it, bro? Zebra suit?
Zebra style.
Yes, sir. Yeah, this is my favorite suit. If you guys see the picture right now on the screen,
Tell us the story
uh,
behind this suit.
I, it was really strange because I went back home. It was back in 2019 for my sister's wedding. I went back and I went to bazaar. It's like a traditional place for shopping in Uzbekistan. And I was walking around and I just bumped into this material, and like right away in a matter of second, in my head I had like a suit in front of my eyes. And I thought, why not to try? I bought the material. I called the tailor. I said, how many meters is needed if we're going to use this one? And after that, I dropped it off and I started working on the design. It was pretty classy design of the suit, nothing super special. But something that was making it special was the material, of course. And at the end, I think we got something unique, something very special. Not for everybody. Not everyone will be brave enough to wear it. But I can see Leonardo DiCaprio wearing it for Oscar ceremony.
Definitely.
That's something like that.
It's one of those suits that when I first saw it, it definitely, there is a shocking, like, aspect to the suit. It's in a good way. It's just like, wow,
Yes, sir.
this the zebra checkered design. It's definitely something unique. and I do have to credit you for bringing it to the world for us to see.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. I got a lot of compliments, honestly, and I made a special design for the pants. Because I like mixing up classy style and wearing a suit with the sneakers.
Hmm.
Which probably a lot of people disapprove. And I agree that you cannot mix classy with the street style. But sometimes I do it. That's my guilty pleasure.
Very
Uh,
controversial.
exactly. And what I did, I attached the piece of this zebra material on the downside of my pants, so that I can, turn it over on top. My ankles are exposed, and I can wear it with a sneaker, like with the Balenciaga Triple S type of sneakers. This is the
Yes.
ideal option for that.
Now, in the beginning, I did say I admire your fashion sense, but I guess this is where my admiration stops, is when you talk about wearing Balenciaga triple S's
Triple
with
S,
with a
yes.
suit. But
Yes,
if you can
sir.
rock
Yeah.
it, I respect that. But right now, I can't really, be on the same boat with you, brother.
Okay, thank you, brother, for this awesome 50 minutes. I guess now we stop, right?
We did come to the end. Also, I already did ask you what you want to do for the future of this brand, and I think the fact that you want to branch out to make suits, shirts, and be the complete the destination where a man can go and they can be completely suited up, classy looking. If you had one piece of advice to people that want to start a bow tie business or a tailor business, what would be your advice?
I would say stand up and start. Just do it. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Most of the people, they have wonderful ideas and they just keep thinking about it without execution. Execution is the key. A lot of like a lot of people, they just sitting on the couch and thinking, "Oh, I could have done this, I could have done that." No. You should just stand up and do it. And everything else comes in the process. Of course, it's amazing to have a plan, follow the plan, do it step by step, but let's be honest, probably out of 100% of people, only one top 1% can do something like that. And I'm not in this top 1%, like most of us. So the main thing is just to start doing it, actually. Reach out to suppliers, make crazy creative designs, stand out from the crowd, think out of the box. Probably saying something cliche, but yeah, this is the main thing.
That's the thing that works. You just have to think about it and execute it. But I do think you have to plan it to an extent. But if you ponder over planning it all the time and not doing anything, you won't go anywhere. So definitely good
100%.
advice.
100%.
And like, you started in 2017. What is one thing you learned that you'd like to share from this, an insight from this business?
Useful insight. Useful insight. Communication skills are something a lot of people are sleeping on. Develop your communication skills. That's one of the most important things to ever exist in any business. And I think it's not only about accessories, bow ties, fashion business. In general, in anything, you have to know how to communicate. You have to know how to come up with a solution. That's the most important thing.
Awesome. Yeah, communication is super important, and that's definitely something you do have. Whenever we went out to, do something business related or a store, I've always seen you hustle. The people get the best deals, and that's something I
Yes,
definitely
sir.
respect.
Thank you, brother.
What's one thing you would do differently if you could start all over again?
Mm, probably I would hire people for like an internship. Like internship. That's what I
Yeah.
didn't do. Because a lot of people they search for internships in Brussels, in Belgium, and most of international students they are not allowed to get paid, which is wonderful for businesses, unfortunate for students. And actually, a lot of people they are willing to get this experience to try themselves in the real business, you know, environment, to work with money, with to work with people, to develop some products. So I would say I would have taken advantage of that.
Awesome. So now we've come towards the end, and now something that I do on the show is that we play two games. The first game is
Okay.
called Rapid Fire Questions. I will
Yes,
be
sir.
asking you a bunch of questions, and you'll have to provide me one word answer as fast as possible.
Okay,
All right.
let's go.
So let's go. Favorite fashion brand?
Yeah, I can't. I'm sorry. I failed. I failed.
Just go for
I
it.
failed. Can I still answer?
Yeah, you can answer.
Favorite fashion brand? Azizkhon Ganiev, right here.
Awesome. That's the answer I needed. Favorite sports athlete?
Bro, I failed again. I'm really sorry, guys. I'm really sorry. If you're watching this, I always have paradox of choice inside me. I want to say, unfortunately, I have to say Conor McGregor.
Awesome. I'll accept that, but we'll talk
Yeah.
about this later.
Yeah, we'll talk
Best
about that later.
best dressed athlete?
Woo! Hector Bellerin.
Your current watch or watches?
Current one, Seiko 5. Classy. Model from 1989, I think. And but favorite? Yes.
Favorite sneakers?
Favorite sneakers. Oh, brother, 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 brother. No, wait, wait, wait. Three, two, one, go. Um, Jordan, Jordan 1 High OG.
Favorite perfume?
Terre d'Hermes.
Worst color combination to wear?
Easy. Pink and orange.
One thing every man should have?
Dignity.
Awesome. I like that answer. Now, moving on to the second game. It's this or that. Basically, I give
Hmm.
you two options and you have to choose. And on this
All
one, you
right.
have to be fast.
Okay, let's go.
Nike or Adidas?
Nike.
Formal wear or informal wear?
Formal.
Android or iOS?
iOS.
The mountains or the beach?
The beach.
Crocs or Yeezy slides?
Crocs.
Date night or UFC with the boys?
UFC with the boys. Let's go.
Brussels or LA?
Because of people, I'm gonna say Brussels.
I respect that, brother. So this is the end. Thank you so much for making the time, brother. I know you're such a busy guy, work
Thank you.
and everything. I hope we can have another episode real soon. Once you launch your business, you can come back anytime.
For
We
sure.
can talk
For
about
sure,
it.
brother. I
Thank you for the
wanna
time.
thank you. I wanna thank you for inviting me for your podcast. Wishing you best of luck, brother. I'm really happy that
Thank
you
you.
actually did it. You know,
Finally,
yeah, just as we were discussing 5 minutes ago, you were not just thinking about it, but you did it. So be
100%.
inspiration. Yeah, you be an inspiration
Sometimes,
for me, for all of us, and keep going, brother. And
thank you,
for
bro.
everybody watching, much love, sending you big hugs, and just do it. As Shia LaBeouf said, don't let your dreams be dreams. Just do it.
Just do it. Let's end it on this note.
Yes,
Done.
sir.